Hey everyone, it's Will from GI Sports. Today we're going to talk about how to properly maintain the bolt system for the machine Vapor. So let's get started. Very simple. Push your simple push button system. Slide the bolt out the back. You can put the gun aside. Now, the bolt is basically comprised of one moving part and everything else is stationary. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the back can. So all you do is you simply unthread it, slide it off, put it aside. Now we're going to slide off the bolt, and then we're going to put everything aside. So here's your firing can, your bolt, and your bolt guide assembly. Okay? So first things first, we're going to take a little bit of paper towel here, and we're going to tackle the can. So we're going to wipe off any old lube and any paint that may have collected on the system. Okay? Wipe it off really well. Now we're going to work on the bolt. Do the same thing. Wipe off the exterior, wipe off the face of the bolt. If there's any paint on the face of the bolt, you can just, take a paper towel and kind of make a little point with it and go through the face of it just like that. Put it aside. And the bolt assembly. Bolt assembly is very, very basic. Just wipe it down, wipe off all the O-rings. Couple of things, since you have it in your hand, you might as well just take a look for wear. First things first, this O-ring here, this large O-ring right there, that is your rear bumper. So just take a look at it, see if it's chewed up or anything like that, see if it's in good condition. If it looks pretty beat up, then basically just swap it out. Things you want to look for is maybe some gouging or some pitting or some severe chipping into it. Basically the purpose of that O-ring is to stop the rearward motion of the bolt. So it's like a shock absorber. The other two O-rings you want to take a look at is these two small O-rings right here. Just take a look at them, see if there's any kind of wear or scratching or gouges or anything missing out of it. These ones, obviously look perfect. So let's start with the lubing. So you take your included Vapor lube here, put a little bit on your finger, about that much. And the areas you want to take care of are these two main O-rings here. So you put a little dollop of lube on it and then just roll your finger around. You don't have to worry about over lubing because any excess lube is going to basically be forced out of the bolt into the breech. So before you play, if you just maintain your gun, maybe what I'd suggest is that you just dry fire it a little bit just to work out any excess lube, and then that way when you go play, you're not going to have all sorts of lube in your breech to basically make your paint shoot all over the place. Now there's 4 O-rings here. We're going to just lube these up just a little bit. These are stationary O-rings, so the reason why we lube them up is just so that it slides nicely into the gun and doesn't snag or tear or anything. So you don't have to put a crazy amount. Okay, so that part is done. We're going to set that aside. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to tackle the bolt. There's really only 2 key places to lube the bolt. This rear O-ring here, the white one. There is a small black O-ring right in front of that. That as well as is a shock absorbing bumper. So just take a quick look at that, see if there's any wear and tear or anything like that on it, just to make sure it's in good shape. Okay, so once that's lubed up, now what we're going to do is we're going to go just in front of the exhaust ports here, and we're just going to put a little bit of lube there. Just a thin coat. Reason being is that there's a O-ring inside the breech that isn't easily accessible. So if we put a little lube here, it's going to be sure to run smoothly on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide the bolt onto the bolt guide like so. Put it aside. And what we're going to do is work on the firing can. Basically, you just want to lightly lubricate these O-rings here on the outside. These again are stationary O-rings, so you don't have to go too crazy on the lube. And then there's one white O-ring on the inside here. Okay, you just want to make sure that's well lubed. So just put a little bit of lube on your finger and run it on the inside, just like so. Perfect. Now you're good to go. So you just slide your firing can on, thread it in, like so. Move the bolt around a little bit just to distribute some of the lube. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slide it back into the gun, push the catch in. Make sure you hear that click. If you don't hear that click and you go to gas it up, you're gonna get a mean surprise because your bolt's gonna take off like a rocket. And that's pretty much it. I would suggest to people, since the Vapor is a spool valve gun, they like to be maintained a lot. So if you're noticing any inconsistencies like first shot drop off or any weird velocity, first thing I'd do is just take apart the bolt and lube it up, and then slide it back in. Most of that'll be taken care of, and that's it. So basically, every time you go and play, just take a quick look at your bolt, make sure it's all greased up, and you're good to go. For any more information or videos on the Vapor, you can go to gisports.com. Thank you.